Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Well, a lot of folks know that I was at a flea market, a fishing flea market, here in central New Jersey this past weekend. And I had the opportunity to meet with a lot of folks that, well, are channel viewers. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. And, well, to purchase a couple of items at the flea market as well. And, well, I thought I would review with you what the flea market finds were. A little bit about the reels themselves, why I purchased the reel, and so on. And, well, let's just see how it goes. Well, the first one I actually didn't buy. It came to me from somebody who did buy it at the flea market, and it asked me if I can service it. Now, those of you that know the later boxes, of course, see a Mitchell line. This is a Mitchell. And those of you that saw it as a 710. Well, what is the 710? The 710 is an automatic fly reel. That's kind of interesting, right? In and of itself, Mitchell did not make many, but these were made between 1969 and 1979. And nice little features to it. It is the automatic fly reel, so you would turn to crank the spring tight, and then you have a control arm here, which will come out. That will run the reel. Unfortunately, the spring has lost its tension, so it seems to me as though inside this plate here, we should have some kind of a banded spring that goes around. It's probably got a hook on it that sets to allow you to continue to crank it and put tension on it. And then with the release of that pin that holds these in place, the spring would uncoil and it would bring the line back onto the reel. Well, unfortunately, it loses its tension quickly. We're not sure what's going on in there, so the fellow did ask me if I could take it apart and repair it. Well, my standard issue is I haven't taken it apart, but that never seems to stop me. And we'll go do that, and we'll see what we can find out. The next one is a fella stopped by at the table and said, I have a reel, I need a part. He needs the cap for the Abu Ambassador. This is the Ambassador. I believe it's the 5600. Can't find the decal on there. The decal is probably gone. It's got a nice ratio on it. It's a 6.3 to 1. Very clean. Made in Sweden. So it's probably the 5600 C3. Probably, from what I can recall and remember. Turns nice and well, but it does need that cap. And I told him that I could go get the cap, and well, after discussing it for a while, I asked him what type of fishing he's doing with it and so on. He says he really doesn't use the reel. Would I be interested in purchasing it? So it's in my possession. You might guess the answer to that. I was interested in purchasing it. The only problem I have with this is the case is worn here. You can see that the button for the free spool release has worn away over time. That's not an uncommon problem with these reels. It still works. It just gets a little sloppy over time with it. The solution to that usually is to, well, replace the case, right? Well, if you like these types of videos, if you're watching so far and you're saying, gee, those are kind of interesting, I like to see how he works on them and so on, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel. If you do subscribe to my channel, please use that notification button. That notification button will let you know when I'm posting videos, and well, you can see how to take them apart, how to service them, clean them up, keep them fishing for a long time to come, and in some cases like this where reels are missing parts or broken, how to give those reels a second chance, or at least try to give those reels a second chance. Well, we got a couple of interesting things in here. Most of these came from a single vendor. Her name is Trisha, and she's a channel viewer, and I was fun to catch up with her, understand what it is that she had out there. And she had a bunch of what I'll call tuition reels. They weren't very expensive reels, and I saw a few that I said I would like to make videos on for the channel. And well, we'll see most of those are. There's one more I think that came here. There's two more that came in before we get to those. One of them I had the opportunity to buy a Mitchell 308. It's in very good condition. There is some minor wear on the one part of the reel foot here. This was Mitchell's ultralight reel. It still has a great reputation. This one runs free and easy, and the price wasn't very expensive. And then this one, well, this one I guess is the other one. This reel came in from a fellow named Joe, and I hate to see it asked me if I could repair this. He said I have a 4300 SS missing a handle. Can you find me a handle? That's hard enough. And it has a cracked adjuster knob. This is almost impossible to find. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to find it. He doesn't have the other piece that would maybe allow us to kind of crazy glue it or something on there to keep it. This probably will hold the tension on the spool, I guess, if we try to tighten it down enough. There's ways around it, but it's not an easy one because it has this spool release in the middle of this piece here. But I told Joe I would see if I could do my best to locate him that adjuster knob and the handle. Okay, let's get over to Trisha's piece. She had a nice stand there, a lot of vintage equipment, a lot of it not very expensive, $5–10 kind of purchases. And the first thing that got my attention were a couple of reels that were $10 reels. And I hadn't worked on these in a while, so I thought maybe they would make a good video for our channel. And this is the first one. This is the Shakespeare 2200. Now, this one was before the Royal Maroon series. This has got a spiral drive in it. It's an ultralight reel. It's the smallest of the bunch. One of our viewers, Bill Brett, up in Massachusetts, sent me a bunch of 2210s. Well, this is the smaller version of that. It's the 2200. I'm going to do a video on that. The other one that every time I see these, it reminds me of my uncle. That's the only reason I kind of purchased these. This is the Damn Quick Super, and he gave me one of these. Well, his son, my cousin, gave me one of these. It was his, and it was missing a piece and a part, so it was just on the shelf because I wasn't able to find the part. But this one, it's bottoming out. Something's going on wrong right there when it's at the bottom of the stroke. But we should be able to clean this one up, and we'll put some line on it and have a memory of what it is. This little button here, if I remember, tells you what the pound test is that you're using on this. It seems to be stuck. Okay. Another one that they had there, these are probably the $5 reels if I remember. This is a Sears reel, but it's a Shakespeare reel. And well, the first thing obviously is the bail screw. Is probably went missing. The bail wire is loose, and it looks like it's rusted on here. We're gonna have to see what we can do about that. The spring itself seems to be working, but it seems to be tight. So I'm gonna put that on my pile when I get a chance. That's my when I get a chance pile. Clean that one up, and like this one, they're fun old surf fishing reels. This one was a Shakespeare reel. It was made for Sears. It's got the Sears and Roebuck name on there, and it's got the 7-digit number. Okay, and then I bought 5 more reels that are old-fashioned, old-school reels just for fun. This one did not come from Trisha. Came from the vendor next to him. It was probably about the same price. This one is I don't remember. I think it's a J.C. Higgins, maybe. Yeah, this is a J.C. Higgins reel. Again, with that Sears 7-digit number. Very much looks like the Mohawk reels of the time. Works, but it's struggling. This is probably a statement of old grease. We'll get on to that and give that one a second chance. The next 4 actually look like victims of floods. We have some tarnish on here that looks like mud. So I'm thinking that this may have been in a box during one of those high water events that we had here, Hurricane Sandy or Superstorm Sandy, or some of the other ones that came along. Irene came along. It looks like maybe these were stored in maybe a pail like this, or some boards or something. This one works. So we're going to see what we can do about that. A couple of interesting things with this one. I don't see a brand on here. Maybe after we clean it up, we'll see something. Usually you would find something stamped on the side or on the reel seat. This has got 200, but nothing more than that. When I buy an old reel like this, I want to make sure it's complete, particularly if you can't find the name of the manufacturer on the reel, because you're not going to find parts for it. And the most common piece that's missing is this non-gear side plate bushing or burring. So make sure if you're searching for something like this, the the noise there, that can be fixed, but you can't fix missing parts on those. This one's a broken reel, but I like these reels. I think I have one around here somewhere. This is the Fluger. I think it's the Fluger Interocean. It's Oceanic. It's the Fluger Oceanic. This one's broken. So we're going to see what's broken inside that. This probably is a pre-war reel. When I picked it up initially, I thought it was the Ocean City Free Spool, but it is the Fluger Oceanic. And we'll see what we can do to keep this thing, or get this thing back fishing again. This one has an interesting story behind it, I believe. Well, if it has an interesting story, I don't know it. This is another one of the unbranded ones I bought. There is something down here. So when I clean it up, we'll see if we can identify it. Again, nice reel. Almost looks like this one. A little bit bigger. Rick over at Young Martin's Reels sent me a picture of a reel like this and said, see, I have no idea. It's not marked, has no names. Any idea who made it? Well, this one's unmarked, has no names. This is different from the one that Rick sent in. But again, it's working. Pre-war, World War II. And, well, just fun all around. And then I shared with Tricia the story on this one. Again, I thought it was unmarked for the longest time. It's a big reel, wooden handle and the like. And then as I was struggling to see in here, this is a Four Brothers reel. And I'm not sure if this is a Sumco or not. Kind of hard for me to read that right now. Special, maybe. At any rate, I mentioned to her, I asked her if she had known who the Four Brothers were. Well, the Four Brothers were the sons of Ernest Fluger. And they were part of the business. And I think one of them actually went on to run the business for a while after Ernest passed away. But they did create a sub-brand in Fluger called the Four Brothers, and that's how it got its name. This does say special. I see the way that it's going in the light reflection. So there you go. Well, those are all going to become project reels, and I hope to make them videos, because that's kind of why I did the investment on the money. Laying it out there was so that I had the reels to go work on. And of course, some vendors that kind of said, hey, I got one here that's broken. Can you help me with it? Like that and the 4300. But they all will wind up at some point being videos. And the best way for you to see those videos is to subscribe. If you do subscribe, please use that notification button. That'll let you know when they're being posted. And, well, you never know when these are going to show up. They don't get priority, but they do get done. And I hope you will look forward to them as I look forward to working on them, learning a little bit from them, and kind of enjoying them for what they are as pieces of engineering and fishing history. Before I leave, I want to thank our first responders, our police, fire, safety, rescue, and everybody involved in day-to-day keeping us out of harm's way. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, wishing everybody a great day, fun times on the water, and good luck fishing.